All right, so this is an article from rmb.co.za. It speaks about e-commerce and the potential of e-commerce, right? What it's expected to be. Now remember, expectations can change, but oftentimes when articles or business um business or global or geopolitical articles or business articles, when they say expected, it means there's a high percentage. It's a high percentage that it will happen, right? Probably 70%, 80% chance that it will happen, right? Based on the data that they collected, right? So every time you hear one of these articles say expected, when you see the word expected, there's a very high chance that it will happen. It's likely to happen, right? E-commerce expected to be worth 225 billion rand in South Africa by 2025, by an article by rmb.co.za. The value of e-commerce transactions in South Africa is expected to surge 150% to 225 billion rand by 2025 due to market shift in consumer behavior. E-commerce is defined as card spend activity on an online platform where businesses and individuals can buy and sell goods and services. While there was already a gradual shift to greater purchase of online goods and services underway before the March lockdown, restrictions on movement acted as a massive accelerant in pushing South Africa further in line with the global phenomenon of a shift to online consumption. F&B has seen an average e-commerce spend growth of 30% year-on-year during the first half of 2020 compared to 2019, whilst the average bricks and mortar or physical spend declined 12% year-on-year during the first half of 2020 compared to 2019. These figures exclude flights and accommodation spend, which accounts for nearly half, 47% of all our online spend. Businesses are responding. RMB estimates there are now currently 5,000 businesses online in South Africa with a turnover of 100,000 or more. The pandemic has spurred consumers' expectations that every business should offer the option to be able to digitally pay for everything, from hailing a ride to paying for groceries and takeaways. E-commerce card purchases penetration is currently 8% of total card purchases in the South African economy and is expected to grow to 20% in the next 5 years, a rapid annual average growth rate of 16%. Okay. Now I do want to put in perspective, right, that yes, the use of e-commerce in South Africa is growing. However, that is a global trend. If you look at the Western world, if you look at Europe, if you look at Europe, if you look at the States, you look at UAE, right? Ever since COVID arrived, right, that percentage increased, the percentage of, buying online or whatever, it increased globally, right? Um, However, I do think that the good thing about that is that now there is now more than ever, there is an opportunity to take advantage of this online space. There is an opportunity to take advantage of the idea of an online business. The idea of an online business right now is so, it's so obvious, but I was like, no, it's not obvious, is not the word. But it's so clear. The idea of an online business should be one of the top 5 things, right? And even if your business doesn't start out as an online business, right? Let's say you don't really wanna have an online business. You want your business to be like physically, want it to be word to mouth. You wanna really advertise it on billboards, or have vendors advertise your business on the streets. You pay vendors on the streets to advertise it, or um you pay social media influencers maybe, or you pay, I don't know, you have a TV ad or something, right? But TV ad is borderline online, by the way. But anyways, my point is, if you're trying to avoid, right, if you're trying to avoid putting your business in the online space, eventually there's gonna be a time where you are forced to start your own website. You are forced to generate leads online. You're forced to have a Instagram account. There's gonna be a time where you're forced to have a TikTok account. There's gonna be it's gonna be a time where, like, everything is gonna be pointing to online, right? I think it's gonna reach a stage where 60% of purchases may eventually be online. Like, it's crazy. Like, the growth of online is happening, right? Think about it. 225 billion rand expected in 2025, like, at the rate that it's going, right? So if you're an individual that has access to Wi-Fi, right? If you're an individual that has access to Wi-Fi, it really is a no-brainer, to be honest. It really, the concept or the idea of starting an online business, if you have access to Wi-Fi, if you have access to internet 24/7, is there. Like, even if maybe you probably have a job, even if you have a 9 to 5, right? Or anything like that. Like, again, I'm not forcing this idea on you, but just think about it, right? If you really dislike your 9 to 5, and you wake up in the morning, you're going there, and every time you come back home, you're like, damn, I hate this job. If in your mind you're like, damn, I hate this job, everything in me is saying I hate this job, then there's an opportunity here to think of an idea or research an idea, right? You use Google, you use TikTok, you use Instagram, you use Twitter or X, you use YouTube to research an idea, right? You research an idea, you look at the businesses, right, in that idea or in that niche, right? And you think to yourself, okay, I'll probably do have time to do this. And you probably will have time to do this, because after your job, right, as soon as you get home, There's your time. That's your time there. That's your time to do it. When you get home, you put you put all the hours into that business as soon as you get home. So that is an option, right? That is an option that you have. Now, on the flip side, what I would say is, now in terms of that expected 225 billion rand in 2025, right? When we look at the country as a whole, I have been seeing, I saw another article. I think it was was it by the South African? Yeah, the South African, I think. Another article that said there is a crime syndicate attacking courier companies. There is a crime syndicate attacking courier companies, right? And so obviously it's either they steal goods, or they steal the car, or they steal the courier driver's cell phone, or whatever, right? Or they steal the package that they are delivering. That's gonna have a negative impact, and that's gonna cost businesses a lot, right? So that is an issue that needs to be dealt with. I think it needs to be dealt with, like, harshly. Otherwise, it's going to discourage entrepreneurs, right? It's going to discourage businesses. However, I guarantee you that in the townships, right, couriers in the townships probably don't run into that problem. I don't think so, right? Even though, yes, I know that the township space, couriers in the township is still a new thing. It's still growing. It's not like you getting 20 deliveries, right, filling the township, but there is growth there. There is growth, right? More and more people are starting to deliver in the townships, right? People in the townships are ordering stuff online as well. So yeah, there's many possibilities, many changes, and yeah, we'll see how it goes, man.